Raise that sword up there. I'm not even going to start you off, so I'm going to start it off. Amen. Do you believe that? Man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Now, when I ask you, do you believe that? There's something behind that. So let me ask you again. Do you believe that, even though we say that? All right, okay. Well, hey, I'm opening up the prayer. We'll jump right in. Are you ready? Let's pray. Father God, I come to you right now. Thank you so much for the music this morning, Father. And thank you for seeing our young children's ministry, Father, doing silent. That no matter what age we are, we can worship you. And Father, I thank you for the special song. Thank you, Father, we set out to plant this church with roughly 30 people. And to be able to have 10 baptisms in 2 weeks. Father, we say thank you for those workers and those people who stepped out and say, hey, I want to be a part of this church. I want to help the ministry here at Real Joy. Father, today, as we open your word, speak to our hearts. Father, I pray each week that the words will be yours and not mine, and people see you and not me. That I will get out of the way. Father, because we know it's not by accident that we are here. We have a divine appointment with you. So I'm asking you to speak to our hearts, each and every one. Spread the Holy Spirit in this room. Move. Draw us closer to you. For we ask it in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be preaching about something that I can say just about every Christian, if not 100%, every Christian, did I say every Christian, Chad? I said every Christian has actually experienced this. And when I say this, experience this at one point or another in their walk. And I'm going to be talking about this. Throw it up there for me, Tyler. Our title, When We Don't See God. When we don't see God. You know, as Christians at times, things in our lives are going so well, and we're doing things are going good, you know, bam, 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 bam. Life's going good, and all of a sudden God says, hey, right turn, and we start going a different direction, and we wonder, where's God at? Where is God? We get that time and say, God, are you sure you want me to go in this direction? What? Where are you? How about this one? Things aren't going too good. You have your quiet time and you're in your prayer closet, whether that be in your bedroom or wherever it might be, and you're down on your knees and you're just pouring your heart out to God. God, I don't hear you right now. I'm looking for direction. I want to know where you want me to go. Why aren't you answering my prayer? Are they going past the ceiling? God, I need your help right now. And we go, I don't see God moving right now. You know what? We're waiting for that feel good. We're looking for those goosebumps. We call them God bumps. You know, we're looking for that sign in the sky writing. God put the clouds together and says, "Move this direction." So I'm going to be preaching about when we don't see God. When we don't see God. So many times we wonder, God, why would you allow me to go through this? And then you get to the other side, you go, I see now. I see now. One of the hardest things as a pastor, when people come up and go, I don't hear God saying anything to me. I'm not sure what God wants me to do. Hey, I read this someplace. I don't know who said it, but I've said it a couple of times on Wednesday night in our Bible study. You know, when you're in school and you take a test in your life, the teacher is always quiet. Sometimes when we're going through a test in life, maybe our teacher's really quiet. Saying, hey, I've got you here for a reason. Let's build your faith and see how it goes. Esther. If you would look at the book of Esther, it actually falls in chronological order as far as in the book of Ezra, between the 6th and 7th chapter. This is when this is taking place. And so some of the same names that you're reading in Esther are also found in Ezra and Nehemiah as well. So Israel had been in captivity for a while, and many of the people were transplanted. Remember, whenever they were held captive, one of the Assyrians, I believe it was, Babylonian people, I just kind of running through my head, think, okay, we're going to transplant you so you guys will not be a strong body of people all together. So we're going to transplant you to different places. And that's what happened. Esther is in a different place. She's in a foreign land right now. So she's being raised by her uncle, and you will read about that here in just a few minutes. So let's look at our background. Ezra chapter 2, verses 7 through 9. He was bringing up Hadassah, that this is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had no father or mother. Now the young lady was beautiful of form and face, and when her father and her mother died, Mordecai took her as his own daughter. Now, this is something, so you look at here in verse 7, Hadassah, that is Esther. So if you read that, her name was changed, and Hadassah actually means myrtle. Like, there's myrtle. The change, I'm not saying there's a reason for the change, but Esther actually means star. So there's some change in her life. And let's just say this. She's becoming a beautiful young woman. She went from myrtle to star. Just a little background for you. Okay, look at verse 8. So it came about when the command and decree of the king were heard, and many young ladies were gathered to the citadel of the Susa and the custody of Hegai, that Esther was taken to the king's palace into custody of Hegai, who was in charge of the woman. So now let me just go a little bit more background about this. What's happening is King Xerxes actually had a wife named Vashti, and he wanted her to come before him to kind of show off his wife in front of his other people. And she says, I'm not coming. Forget it. I'm not just going to do what you say. And he goes, bam, cut her off, and he banished her. And so now he's looking for a new king. So one of the guys in the community, one of the guy's leaders, says, hey, here's what you got to do, Xerxes. You ought to just go ahead and find all the virgins in the land that you have, and you find the one who just bring them before you, pray before you, find the one who you want to be your next wife. And that's where we are right now. Let's go to verse 9. Now the young lady pleased him and found favor with him. Now this is not the king yet. This is with the guy who's over getting all the ladies ready. And actually each lady took a year before they actually would go before the king. So back to verse 9. Now the young lady pleased him and found favor with him, so he quickly provided her with cosmetics and food, gave her 7 choice maids from the king's palace, and transferred her and her maids to the best place in the harem. Wow. Esther, if we look at before, her life wasn't the best life of all. She lost her parents. We're not sure what happened. We're during captivity, or they stayed back and died, or something. But right now, she's being raised by her parent, or by her one of her parents' brother, an uncle, in a foreign land, under captivity. Now, let me just say this. At times in our life, we can actually get used to the dreary things in life. And we know, hey, tomorrow's going to be a bad day. The next day's going to be a bad day. Today's a bad day. I get used to it. And we just kind of go, okay, this is life. I'm used to this. Hey, come on, next day. And never, let me just say this. Me and my wife have said this. Never, ever ask, okay, God, what next? Because he will show you. And it's usually, okay, so here is Esther. She kind of got used to it. Her parents are gone. She's living with an uncle, foreign land. She could have complained and whined and everything, but life's going pretty good. She's turned out from Myrtle to Esther. She's starting to bloom into a nice young lady. And then all of a sudden, because this king gets drunk and banishes his wife, he's looking for a new queen. And so all of a sudden says, hey, Ha-ha! Everything that you thought was normal, everything that you was used to, your life's been turned upside down. Now you're going to the palace. Get used to that. A lot of hardships. You say, well, she's got all these handmaids and everything like that. My wife, when she gets sick, doesn't like for you to kind of, she likes for you to check on her, but she doesn't like for you to wait on her, you know? It's like, well, just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying, ladies? You guys, you know, we get a splinter in our finger and we're down for a couple months as men. You know, it's like, oh, pull it out. Did you pull it out? It's gone. Okay. Anyway, but the ladies, you know, they're tough. And they don't usually want someone waiting on. And now you take her from a woman that has gotten used to this kind of life and you put her in here and you got people just circling all around her. Could you imagine actually the fear going into her life? What's going to happen? If I go before the king, he doesn't like me, he can actually have me killed. Or I go to the king and then I'm separated from my whole family and everybody, you know, what's going to happen in my life? Turn upside down. If we were to read the whole book of Esther today, we would find this. If you would read from Esther chapter 1, verse 1, go to the last chapter, last verse, nowhere, listen to me, nowhere will you find the name of God anywhere in this book. No, not at all. However, the king, Xerxes' name is mentioned 190 times. If I was just to look from the outside looking in, just in this book, I'd think that kind of the king is dictating which way Esther's life's going, don't you think? Because really, God's name's not mentioned in there at all, and it's actually in the Bible. Why would we have something like that? Listen to me. As we go through this, you will find out that God was moving things to get people where he wanted them at for a particular reason. There's some things that we need to define as we go into our study for the next couple of weeks. Sovereignty. This is what sovereignty means. Sovereignty. We talk about the sovereignty of God. This is what it means. It's God's rule over his creation. God's rule over his creation. So let me just say this for a second. Meaning that all things, each minute thing, each big thing, little organisms and electrons and protons, each atom, everything that God made that is all 100% made by him, right? 100% made by God, am I right? Everything, you mean everything was made by God.
Amen.
Right?
Amen.
Which means God's sovereignty, everything that he has made, he has rule over.
Amen.
You go, okay. I don't know where you're going, Pastor. Hey, listen, if God doesn't want something to happen, or he does want something to happen, God being the creator of us, he's going to make sure it happens or doesn't happen.
Amen.
Pastor, that's deep. How big is your God? How big is your God? That's why, each Sunday I say this. Have you noticed in my prayers? Each Sunday I say, God, we're not here by accident. You are not here by accident. You have a divine appointment to be here with God.
Amen.
Okay? Someone invited you. You decided. You just had this little thought. Hey, you know what? I think I'll go down and check out that little church. Real Joy Community Fellowship. Bam! Where'd that come from? God. Amen. Hey, Chris, you said someone put their one call out at Walmart so everybody could hear. Hey, where do you go to church at? Real Joy. Your pastor calls you? Yeah. Every Saturday. Really? Chuck, one of our newest members, he goes, hey, I got your call yesterday. You send out a one call, tell everybody, yeah. Hey, I send out a one call. Sometimes it's long, sometimes it's short, but it always says this, I love you, and invite somebody. Maybe God's going to use you to help for his ruling of his creation to get someone that you know that I don't know, that maybe they know that they get him here. You see what I'm saying? So God is going to he's going to have things, he's going to rule over and his creation, which means me and you.
Amen.
I got free, yes, you got free choice. We'll get to that to the next thing, because the next, sorry David, don't jump, okay? Okay, but the next thing, a lot of people don't understand, is the providence of God. This is what providence of God means. I'm going to write this down. The miraculous, mysterious way God intersects and interconnects his sovereign rule of the universe. The mysterious, miraculous way that God intersects and interconnects his rule of his creation of the universe. Have you ever come into visitors? I'm going to talk to you. Don't raise your hand. You don't have to. I'm going to say, you come and say, hey, one person invited me to that church, and I got down to that church, and I knew about 10 people. You know, I come down to that church, and I saw them, and then, hey, you know, this past Carla, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Miss Carla put pictures up on Facebook last week of our church service. Some from up there in the crow's nest taking pictures down, and then some during the baptism, and then some during the dismissal, and me playing with Bo and Luke. I started watching the pictures as they were going through. And I said, you know what? Tricia and I talking, I said, you know what? We got a lot of different people in the church. And we're all connected.
Amen.
Somehow, God takes and interconnects and intersects us so that we become one big family.
Amen.
I'll be honest with you, Mark. There's some people here who are near and dear friends to Tricia and I, that chances outside of the church we may have never had interaction with. There's some families that's in this church sitting here today that I've been to weddings and laughed so hard at the receptions or graduation parties that I think that it's about me, you know, and I'm like, you know, we're connected that way. Only God can bring us together that way to form the local body, the church, right here. So I'm a firm believer, 100%, in the sovereignty of God, which means this. Look at me, everybody here. Look at me. I don't care if you're 5 years old. I don't care if you're 105 years old. God has a plan for your life.
Amen.
Do you agree with me? Okay, how about this? God is going to use the providence of God to mysteriously move you from spot to spot to get you to where he wants you to be. So in life right now, you are right where he wants you to be. Not a whole lot of amens there. But listen to me. You mean, Pastor, that the series of events that I've had going on in my life, the bad luck that's going on, I mean, I can't take another day. You mean that God has got me going through all this pain right now? Absolutely, he does.
Amen.
He's allowed you to go through that so that he can get you to where he wants you to be.
Amen.
Instead of blaming God, hey, I'm going through this tough time in life, God, hey, what do you want me to learn from this?
Amen.
Okay, yes, you might have made a bad choice, because we do have free will, but God is going to use that, and he saw that. He looks at time, past, present, and future all at once and says, okay, Tony's here, I want him over here, so if he makes that choice, which I know he's going to make, I'm going to do this and put this person in his life, and I'm going to have, do you see what I'm talking about? The providence of God, he's going to get you to where he wants you to be. God can draw a straight line with a crooked stick.
Amen.
Very rarely does God go, hey, point A to point B. I'm going to get you there. No, God goes like this. Point A, B's over here, C's back over this way, D's here, maybe. It might take the whole alphabet to get you where he wants you to be at. But that's the providence of God. Some of you get it, some of you don't. Those who don't get it, let me know. I'll be at your house today. So here's the thing. What happens is, in our life, we go, oh my. Why is this happening in my life? God, how can you allow this? God, where are you? Just give me the sign. We want this. Tony, this is God. Go 3 steps to the left. There, see it? No, God, I don't see it. Oh God, it's right there. We expect that. We expect God to do. Hey, listen. The sovereignty of God will rule over his creation. The providence of God, in a mysterious, miraculous way, he's going to move things around to get you to where he wants you to be. During those times, we go, God, where are you? Where are you? You have to fall. And when I say fall, I do mean fall 100% into what you know, what you know, what you know. What's 100% steadfast, what's 100% sure, 100% that you can count on. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about God's Word. You better go back and stand on God's Word and find out, hey, what's it mean? What's it talking to me? I trust it. Remember what I said? Man cannot live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. I say, do you believe it? And you all go, yeah, I believe it. Okay, listen to me. Do you believe it?
Yes.
Good Isaiah. Isaiah 43. Someone asked me this past week, they go, Pastor, you're preaching from a different Bible than my Bible. I said, yeah. I preach from the New American Standard. They wouldn't allow that into translation class. It's not the King James Version. I know it. It's not the New King James. I've read all of those. I've read the Message. I've read the King James, the New King James, the NIV. I could go on and on and on about the different translations that I've read. Each year I read a different translation of the Bible. If I was going to preach the original translation, I'd be reading the Greek and Hebrew. Okay? A lot of the languages changed. Whenever we first had the King James Version, some of the words weren't created that we have in our English language. That is continuously growing. And so the New American Standard Bible that I preach from is as close to the original language, so I use it. Chapter 43, verse 1. But now, thus says the Lord, your Creator. Who's he talking to? Thus says the Lord, your Creator. You agree with that? Your Creator? Okay. O Jacob, and he who formed you, O Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, you are mine. Are you a Christian? Okay, so you are his. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Where are you, God? I'm passing through the water. God's with me. Okay? And through the rivers, they will not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be scorched, nor the flame burn you. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. Where's God at with you? Is he with you? If you're walking through the fire, is he with you? If you feel like you're drowning, you just can't take one more thing. God, I can't take one more thing. Where are you? Is he with you?
Yes.
Some of you believe it, some of you don't. Man cannot live by bread alone. Do you believe it? Oh yeah, Pastor, I believe it. Hey, God might not send that message out there in the sky telling me, hey, this is what I want you to do. I've got you right where I want you to be. Or I'm going to use this bad thing that's going on in your life, the bad choices, or maybe someone else's choice that has caused where you to be where you are right now. But listen to me. God is going to use that, and He's going to, God didn't, oh my goodness. Let's sit down for a while. It's going to be a little bit, okay? All right. God's not sitting on a throne like this and go, oh my, I didn't see that coming. Wow. Oh, you mean, I don't know, you're sitting here today and you're going through a divorce. Well, I didn't see that coming. My goodness. I know they're praying, smite him, God, smite him right now. Okay. Hey, how about this? Well, I didn't see that coming. They lost their job. What am I going to do now? That never comes out of God's mouth.
Amen.
God can do anything. Would you agree with me when I say this? Would you agree with me? Worrying in life is actually doubting.
Amen.
Let me just show you how we have been trained in this world to be, well, here's the story. Okay, for those of you who know, I coach a traveling baseball team. And we play 5 tournaments, and so each tournament has a different rule. And so we were getting ready to have this one tournament, and it said that we had to supply 2 brand new baseballs for every game. Now, that's kind of rare, but it happens. And so I started thinking, 2 new baseballs, I got 2 new baseballs, that's all I got. It's going to take 6 games to get, so I'm going to need at least 12 baseballs. I've got 2. So I got on this website and I said, I need 12 baseballs now. Okay? And so I I placed this order, I sent it in, and it was late at night on a Monday night, and I needed 12 baseballs, at least 4, by Thursday morning at noon. So I paid the extra dummy fee that needed them next day delivery, okay? And so I paid that extra fee, but yet I still worried about baseballs getting to my house by noon on Thursday. And they said they would send me a confirmation email. And so I kept checking my email at work. I kept checking it at home. Did they get the order? Yes, they got the order. They haven't shipped yet. It says my package is ready. It hasn't left yet. I started worried. I said, how am I going to get it the next day? Guess what? Wednesday at work, 9 o'clock, I checked my email and it said, package is on the way. I was like, a peace just come over me because of a stupid email. Guess what? At lunchtime it said, your package has arrived. I was like, praise the Lord. My baseballs are at home. I hadn't got to the house to see if they were there or not. I just took 100% the truth of the email saying that they were at the house, and I forgot everything. I didn't worry anymore. I said, I got baseballs. Woo, I got baseballs. How does that apply to you, Matt? Okay, here's the deal. We go through life and life throws us a curveball. We're going, things are going good, and all of a sudden, right turn. We're at right turn, and we're like, God, where are you? I don't know what's going on. God, I need you right now. Read your email.
Amen.
God has confirmed that He's with you. Remember, I just read it right here. He's with you wherever you're going. Whatever you're facing right now, God is beside you. You might not see Him moving. You might not hear Him at the time. But as a Christian, God never leaves your side.
Amen.
You got to trust Him in that. You got to believe in that 100%. Let's look at some more scripture. Isaiah 55:8. I'm just going to give you more scripture so you can start saying, well, Pastor, I'm starting to see what you're saying. 55:8. Look at this. You mean a bad thing going on in my life and God's going to use how's He going to do that? Look here. 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Listen to me. God does things a little bit different than me. We all want control. We all want things to be the right. We want things to be done our way in our time. I want it now. We want microwave God. We do. We want to push the button. Okay, it's going to come out there. Yay! Turn over to Jeremiah. Some of you like the microwave. Okay, Jeremiah 32:17. Jeremiah 32:17. A couple more pages to the right. We'll be coming back to Isaiah again. 32:17. Look what it says here. Lord God, behold, you have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and by your outstretched arm. There are some things that are too difficult for you. Well, what's it say? Some of you read it. What's it say? Nothing is difficult for God.
Amen.
Nothing. Whatever you're going through in your life, whatever you're going through in your life, whatever you're going through in your life, God says, I can't work that out. No, listen. God says, I got this. You're mine. I got you. Sometimes, in order for God to achieve his providential way in your life, he's going to have to allow something to go on in your life that you're not prepared for. Remember Job? God allowed Satan to do everything that Job went through. He lost everything. Hit rock bottom. But God allowed it and blessed him even more in the end. Looking at our lives from God's view, it all makes perfect sense. We say things like, man, I'm really having a rough time. Or I had an accident and it's my life has never been the same. Or things are happenstance or chance or some random series of events has got me to here where I'm at right now. Listen to me. This next thing, put this up there, Tyler. There is nothing random with God.
Amen.
Nothing at all random about God, with God. Listen to me. God sees, when I had this in Bible college, it just kind of, bam. God sees past, present, future, and goes, okay, I want Tony to be here. I see his past. And I see what's going to happen. I see where he's at right now in the future, but I want to get him here. So I'm going to allow this to happen in his life. I'm going to allow this to happen too. And during those times, we go, God, where are you? God, where are you? I don't see you, God. Go back to Isaiah 46. I'll close with this. Chapter 46, verse 9. Starting at verse 9. Remember. Christians, do we really remember what God's done for us, or do we only live in the present? Remember the former things, long past, for I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is no one like me, declaring the end from the beginning, from the ancient times things which have not been done, saying, my purpose will be established, and I will accomplish all my good pleasure. Calling the bird of prey from the east, and the man of my purpose from a far country. Truly I have spoken, truly I will bring it to pass. I have planned it, surely I will do it. When I say God's got a plan for your life, just like he had a plan for Esther to have her where he wanted her to be at, when God has a plan, he'll bring it to pass. Is that one of my old pastors says that an old my or an old me? You know, when I say people don't like the providence of God at times because we like to be in control. My wife got a new car the other day. Not new, but new to us. And she was taking us out to eat. She goes, am I driving or are you driving? I said, you can drive. Just let me rest. The humidity's been killing my knees, and they're wanting to replace this one, so I'm like, you can drive. It wasn't less than 20 seconds. I said something like this. You know, if you swerve over to the left, our road going down, the tree branches wouldn't brush across the top. And this is what she said. If you want to drive, you can drive. You ever been there? I said, I'll be quiet. We like control, don't we? And so we like to, I get, my wife, we went to the movies the other night with my mom and dad, and she deliberately took me through like 6 different parking spaces. Because I said, that one looks nice. She, I was like, we like control, don't we? We like to have control. You see, the promise of God says, I don't know what to do. Do me a favor. Would you do me a favor? You act like you're driving a car. Just put your hands up there. You are driving your life right now. Come on. Gary's got this. He's in his 34 Ford, right? He got the nitrous turning cranked way up. I'm getting through life fast. Okay? You're driving through life like this. Are you with me? The promise of God says, do this. How to do it. Even when we're just playing, saying, hi, God. I'm trusting your word. I'm trusting that you got me right now. And I don't like this path that I'm going down. And I'm letting go of control. And I'm going to learn. And I'm going to follow wherever you take me. We'll look at more next to Esther. A book in the Bible where God's name's not mentioned once. Maybe today you're going through a tough time and say, you know what, Pastor? I like to have control. I like to have a hold of that steering wheel. Because I know that I'm going to direct it what's best for me. But listen, God loves you. He wants what's best for you. And he can see past, present, future. I got the best for you right here. Let me have it. Let me have it. It's not going to hurt as much. I'll get you there. Did you want to come to the altar today and pray and say, God, I'm letting you go. You take over. Like The question is, how's it going for you right now? With your control. How about this? Maybe you're here today to say, you know what? You really put a lot of trust in this Jesus guy. Hey, listen, God has a plan, and at the beginning of time, His plan was to send Jesus Christ to die on the cross for our sins so that we can spend eternity with Him. He's going to make it come about so when I breathe my last, I'm going to spend eternity with Him, and so can you. And you can step forward and say, hey, Pastor, I want to trust Jesus today. We'll have someone walk you out to another room, show you what God's Word says. Let you make that decision. Maybe you're looking for a church home. Man, we'd love to have you be a part of this church. We'll take church membership by letter, saying, hey, I'm a member of another church. I've been baptized by immersion. Fill out some paperwork, ask some questions, and go from there. We do it by statement, too. Hey, I was a member of a church a long time ago. I don't remember the address or anything like that. I was baptized by immersion, and yes, I want to be a part of this church. We'll take you that way. Or you can come through and be baptized. We'd love to have you be part of this church, serve right here. Just come forward and say, hey, Pastor, I want to be a member of this church. We'll have someone walk you to another room, fill out some paperwork, ask you those questions, and go from there. So, you know, there's times in our life when we say we can't see God. That's when we really need to trust Him the most.
Amen.
It's easy to follow your parent when they're dragging you through a crowd, you know, whenever you're going through like a concert or through a fair or something like that, and your parents got your hand and you just follow along with them. It's like, that's easy. But sometimes when that parent lets go to look at something and we don't see them, panic.